Good morning, children. Here we will start with the lesson 14, India, Location, Geological Structure and Physiography 2. Earlier we have done lesson 13, and that we have studied about the location, geological structure and physiography. In that we have studied about location, size, area, the standard meridian, the strategic location of India, neighbors of India, geological structure and world major plates. And now we'll continue with the second part of India, location and geological structure. Now, the landform which is irregular and has some altitude on the surface of the earth is called physiography. What is the meaning of physiography? This is physiography part 2. The landform which is irregular and has some altitude on the surface of the earth is called physiography. It includes mountains, plateaus, plains, etc. So can you see this picture? 14.1 Forms of relief features. These are the different forms of the land. Mountain, glacier, foothills, hillock, river, lake, plain, sea, coast, basin, peninsula, island, gulf, desert, oasis, volcano, mountain, plateau, tributary, etc. Now, on the basis of physiography, India has been divided into different physiographic region. यानी हमारे इंडिया में इतने divisions हैं. कितने? 5. Now, the first one is northern mountainous region, which we are going to study in detail. Great Northern Plains, Peninsular Plateau, the coastal plains and archipelagos. Archipelagos means islands. Now see here, this map. This map you have to look into your textbook and you have to go through it. Here different altitudes are given. Above 1200 kilometers, height in meters it is given. Sorry. Then 600 to 1200, 300 to 600, and the mountain ranges which are above the Himalayan mountain ranges. And various rivers are being shown. This map you have to do it yourself and you have to paste it in your notebook. Might be asked in exams, so you have to go through it. Now page 107, Northern Mountainous Region. This is important natural region of India. It is known as the Himalayan mountain system. It is already almost spread in 2400 kilometer in west-east direction in the north. That means from west to east, and also the direction in the north. Almost 2400 kilometer. It has an arc shape. Arc, you understand? Like a sword. Its width ranges between 240 kilometers and 320 kilometers. The Himalaya is not a single mountain, but it is a complex of many mountain ranges. एक ही पहाड़ नहीं है, बहुत सारे ranges हैं. Going towards east from Afghanistan, it extends up to Myanmar via India, Nepal and Bhutan. It has a span in Tibet in the north. It is a part of mountain system known as Pamir Knot. Now see, it is not only at one place, as I told you, they are the ranges. And in the east, from Afghanistan and up to the Myanmar, which is passing from India, Nepal and Bhutan. It has more span in Tibet. Tibet में ये बहुत फैला हुआ है, और it is a part of a mountain system known as Pamir Knot. Himalayas on the whole can be divided into two divisions. हिमालयस ऑन द होल, यानी पूरे हिमालयस को दो तरह से डिवाइड किया है. नॉर्दर्न हिमालयन रीजन एंड ईस्टर्न हिमालयस. नॉर्दर्न हिमालयन रीजन, देयर आर 3 माउंटेन रेंजेस पैरेलल टू ईच अदर. द नॉर्दर्न रेंज इज कॉल्ड द ग्रेटर हिमालयस. एकदम नॉर्दर्न रेंज जो है उसे ग्रेटर हिमालयस कहते हैं. दे आर वेरी लॉफ्टी हिल्स इन दैट एंड ऑलमोस्ट 40 पीक्स विच इज एक्सीडिंग, यानी उनकी हाइट है 7000 meters, more than that. Most famous amongst them is Mount Everest, which is 8848 meters high. It is on Nepal-China border. It is not in India. Okay, this peak, Mount Everest, is on Nepal-China border. It is known as Sagar Matha in Tibet. what it is called as Sagarmatha in Tibet. Other famous peak is Godwin Austen, which is 8,611 feet. And this is the highest peak of India. If a question is being asked to you, which is the highest peak of India in the Himalayan ranges, it is Godwin Austen. There are three distinct ranges in Himalayas which are almost parallel to each other. In the greater Himalayas, there are some high mountain passes. They are Jalapla, Natula and Sipkila. So these are the three passes. Mansarovar, which is said to be a sacred holy place, which is located in China and it is in greater Himalayan ranges. Second range in the south of greater Himalaya is also spread in a wider range. It is called Central Himalayas or a Lesser Himalayas. With the width ranging to 80 to 100 kilometers, this range includes mountain ranges like Pir Panjal, Mahabharat, Naktiba, etc. Many hill stations have been developed in moderately high range. Some of these are Dalhousie, Dharamshala, Shimla, Mussoorie, Ranikhet, Almora, Nainital, Darjeeling, etc. And here next गंगोत्री, यमुनोत्री, बद्रीनाथ, केदारनाथ, ये इनको चार धाम भी बोलते हैं, आपको पता होगा यदि तो. हेमकुंड साहिब etc. are the famous holy places. Kullu, Kangra, Kashmir are extremely beautiful natural valleys in this region. This was about second, Central Himalayas. Now comes the third one, which is called as Outer Himalayas and also known as Shivalik. And most of it falls in India. So this third range, which is known as Outer Himalayas as well as Shivalik, is fall under in the area of India. It is about 10 to 15 kilometers wide and has an average height of 1000 meters. Peculiar valleys formation have taken place in the range which are covered by gravel, stones and thick sediments. Locally they are known as Doon. As you know, Dehradun, it's a capital of Uttarakhand. Patli Doon and Kotari Doon. Now we'll go to the next, that is Eastern Himalaya. Ranges situated in the eastern part of Himalayas. They are having like this. We have all studied about the northern mountainous region. Now we'll see the Eastern Himalayas. Here they are called as hills because it is not having much height. These hills in the Eastern Himalayas are spread in the smaller ranges, and among them is Patkai Hills, which is in Arunachal Pradesh, Naga Hills in Nagaland, Lusai, that is Mizo Hills in Mizoram, and these hills are located near the eastern border and have their continuation in Arakan Yoma range of Myanmar, our neighboring country, Myanmar. If you see the picture 14.2, you can see there. Just below the Tropic of Cancer, Myanmar is there, our neighboring country, that is Myanmar. Garo, Kashi and Jaintia hills are in Meghalaya. You have to remember the names of the hills where they are located exactly. Mountainous regions have more rainfall, so dense forests have developed here. As this is forested area, roads and railways have not been developed much. Now we will go to the next landform, that is Great Northern Plain. Northern Plain means definitely near the northern mountainous region and the southern peninsula. The plain is formed due to the alluvial sediment brought by Himalayan rivers such as Satluj, Ganga and Brahmaputra. These are the rivers flowing in the north from Himalayas, and they are bringing the alluvial sediments, and that is why these plains are these places, and these layers of the sediments are about 50 meters thick, and they occupy the larger area of North India, and that is what is called as Great Plains of North India. Now we'll see the next page, that is the plain is about 2400 kilometers long. It is considered as one of the largest river plains of the world. Its western part is narrower than the eastern part. The plain is almost a level land. This land is plain, सीधी है, plain है बिल्कुल, और it is it is a part which is higher 180 meters from sea level. The plain is very narrow near Delhi. The Satluj plain lies to the west of Delhi while the Ganga plain in the east. So the Satluj plain जो है वो west है Delhi के और Ganga plain जो है वो east के. This plain is considered to be the most prosperous region of India. All the important cities like Delhi, Kanpur, Lucknow, Allahabad, Varanasi, Patna, Kolkata, they are situated in this plain. The Sindhu River and its tributaries. इसकी tributaries कौन सी है? झेलम, चेनाब, रावी, ब्यास and सतलज. They are all originated in Himalayas. Generally, a region between two rivers is called Doab. That is, Do means two and Ab means water. Thus, the plain which is formed by 5 rivers is called as Punjab. Ab means water, Panj means 5. These 5 rivers. Most of these plains are in Pakistan. On the basis of physiography, the plain is divided into 4 parts. Now, this plain is divided into 4 parts: Bhabar, Tarai, Bangar and Khadar. A small and narrow belt of gravels and stones lies parallel to the river from Sindhu up to the Tista river is Shivalik foothills. This belt is 8 to 16 kilometers, is called Bhabar. Now the first one is Bhabar. They are divided, as I told you. The plain is divided into 4. The first one is Bhabar. So it is called Bhabar. Then the second one is Terai region, which is more humid and marshy. Dense forest and diversified wildlife are seen here. The old alluvium is called as Bangan, and due to consistent deposition, it develops a terrace shape which is higher level than flood plains. So this is called as Khadar. So these are the 4 different parts divided into the physiography according to the plain has been divided. Now we'll go to the peninsular plateau. Now this is said to be an oldest region of India which appears as an inverted triangle. Peninsular plateau का मतलब inverted triangle. Triangle you all know, children. So inverted मतलब उल्टा. Its average height is about 600 to 900 meters. Its northern part slopes towards northeast, which is evident from the flow of Chambal, Son and Damodar rivers. The southern part slopes towards southeast. Most of its area is in south. That is what is called as southern. If you look into the map of India, from Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh, below that if you see the picture of India, it is looking like a ulta triangle. That is peninsular plateau. It is surrounded on its 3 sides by sea, and that is what is called as peninsular plateau. It is divided into 2 now. Try to understand. It is divided into 2: Malwa Plateau and Deccan Plateau. The first one is Malwa and then is Deccan. Now Malwa Plateau is Aravalli Range, which is in the southwest part of Malwa Plateau. Aravalli is said to be the oldest range in the world. It is a folded mountain. Mount Abu, you know where it is, in Rajasthan, is the famous hill station on this range. That means in Aravalli range. It's beautiful and pleasant. Guru Shikhar is its highest peak and it's having 1722 meters height. To the south of this region, the rivers Chambal and Betwa, emerging from Vindhyachal, flow northwards and meet river Yamuna, while river Son flows northwards and meet river Ganga. It can be known from the direction of river flow that the region slopes northwards. The northeastern part of this central upland is known as Bundelkhand. This is the middle part of India. The northeastern part. North also as well as little eastern part. That area is called as Bundelkhand. Besides this, there are rivers Luni and Banas, which is also originating in the Aravalli range. In northeast, these rivers vanish in the run of Kutch, while Sabarmati and Mahi river meet the Gulf of Khambat. This we are talking about to the eastern part of India. You know, run of Kutch and Sabarmati is in Gujarat. From the flow of these rivers, it can be ascertained that western part of Malwa Plateau slopes towards southwest. Rajmahal Hills, Shillong Plateaus are a part of Chota Nagpur Plateau, which is known, includes Ranchi Plateau. If you see that picture which I told you, 14.2, you will get all these names over there. Now comes the Deccan Plateau. The Deccan, situated to the south of Satpura ranges, okay, Mahadev and Maikal ranges, which are located to the south of Malwa Plateau. Mahadev and Michael ranges. These are the name of the mountain ranges which are in the Malwa Plateau. And Malwa Plateau is in the south of Satpura. The northwestern part of this plateau are composed of lava deposits. How these hills and mountains have been formed? Due to the lava deposits. When the volcanic eruption must have taken place, and the lava which has come out of it after it has been dried up, it has formed a mountain or that plateau has been formed. On the western side, its border is demarcated by Western Ghats, which runs north-south along the Arabian Sea coast. See, we are living on the western side of India. Gujarat is at the west, right? And if you move towards the south, Western Ghats, they are running north-south along the Arabian Sea coast. Arabian Sea coast or Western Ghats, they are in the same track. It has several local names. It is known as Sahyadri in Maharashtra and Karnataka and Nilgiri in Tamil Nadu. ये रेंजेस के नाम इस प्रकार है. सह्याद्री महाराष्ट्र में बोलते हैं वेस्टर्न घाट्स को, और कर्नाटक में, और नीलगिरी तमिलनाडु में. एंड अन्नामलाई and Cardamom ranges, they are being called in Kerala and also some parts of Tamil Nadu. So the southern portion of Western Ghat is more lofty. They are more strong and more heighted. Generally, the average height of Deccan Plateau range between 900 to 1000 meter, but at a few places it exceeds that height. कहीं पे इससे थोड़ी ज़्यादा है. Few isolated hills more than 900 meters of height form the eastern boundary of this plateau. This is called Eastern Ghats. Eastern Ghats is an opposite side, on the east side. It is having a general slope southeast, which is evident from the direction of the flow of the rivers. Except rivers Narmada and Tapi, which flows westwards, all the rivers are flowing and meeting the Bay of Bengal. Only Narmada and Tapi, the Krishna, Kaveri, Mahi, they are all flowing into Bay of Bengal.